It's the immediate laughter for me.
Yep.
And if you're only listening to the audio, then you're only getting half the story. Unless you're David listening at 2.6 speed, and then you're already in this one. So.
You can't say
You will
David
already
here.
Well, yes, I can.
No, we only do that when behind his back. We talk about
Okay.
the
Yeah, I'm not listening to this at 2.6.
Right, because he already
You're
here.
What are you listening to it at? 2.7?
All of you sound so slow and drunk right now.
What?
What do you
What do you mean? No. Hello, and welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. Gay. And Lana, you will be proud of me today.
Ooh.
I am kind of drinking sweet tea.
Kinda?
Kinda.
I made an Arnold Palmer today,
Oh, okay.
which
Lemonade tea.
is sweet. And it
Is
involves
it sweet tea? But it's not
Technically-
sweet tea. No.
It is
not.
sweet and there is tea.
No, absolutely not. It's not. It's
I
not.
can't win with you.
You can't. Not when you say things like kind of sweet tea. It's either sweet tea or it's not.
That
It is
part.
as close as I am going to get right now to having sweet tea. Okay. There is sweetness in my tea that is also lemonade. So you're just gonna have to deal with that one and move on.
I don't care enough to deal with that, Logan.
Wow.
Let's be honest.
I feel so loved on this.
You should, because if I did care enough to care about it, we'd be arguing for 15 minutes about sweet tea. And that's not
I've
fair.
been arguing about it for about a minute, so.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. I started off this podcast in a very good mood, and Logan is determined to bring me down, and now I'm getting annoyed. So, her. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am not drinking kind of sweet tea because that doesn't exist. I'm drinking strawberry Sunkist because I had it with my dinner, and so I'm going to finish it. But if I was drinking anything else, I would be drinking it out of my cup mug. Almost a panel full of cup mugs.
We can do like a 2-second.
I'll do a mini party for 2 seconds of half a panel of cup mugs. Now we're done.
80% of a panel, excuse me. Much more than half.
Cup mugs,
Thank you very much.
party. But you can get your cup mug, KaMorian, at LanaCreations.com, where we do ship internationally and domestically in the U.S., so there are no excuses, KaMorian. Period.
And I'm looking at you, KaMorian.
And I'm looking at you.
I wonder
Drag
who we're
Race.
looking at today.
DragRace 16 fans in the U.S. because there are really no excuses. You can get this. It's not very expensive. Or any of our cup merch.
And KaMorian.
And KaMorian.
Oh my god.
Hey, it's your first podcast in the new year. We got to give you some shit.
Okay.
That part.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I had to wear Mother, the one, the only, Miss Sasha Colby.
Ooh.
I was trying to see. I thought I had it signed. I might not have gotten it signed, but I did meet her in this shirt, and she complimented me on it.
Oh, wow. I wonder why.
Yeah, I know. And I am drinking some water.
And I forgot to say during my intro, but I'm also wearing a cute shirt today. I
Boom.
forgot to mention. I am wearing my Turing shirt today.
Tori.
Boom.
Boom.
Work. I am Brandon, your professional fangirl of Construct Dragon video games. I did have my cup mug with me, but I don't have anything in it because I'm drinking coffee in my extra large mug because
Period.
Lord knows I need it.
Lovely.
Is it kind of sweet coffee?
If we want to get on to so you know how Logan always makes his creamer?
Mhm.
Yes.
But I didn't make this, but it's just pre store-bought creamer that's cinnamon, honey, and vanilla.
That sounds
that sounds
delicious, by the way.
Don't take that statement Brandon made out of context, please. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't realize how I said that. Whoops.
No,
It's
Well, last but certainly not least, your favorite Black queer content creator, aka KaMorian, the one and only fucking elegant. And yes, I do not have no mug. That is my goal for 2024. No excuses. I will have one.
If you don't have your
Over.
cup mug by the end of 2024, KaMorian,
I'm kicking you off the panel. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm saying it right now. Anybody who does not have a cup mug by the end of 2024, I'm kicking them off the panel. I'm doing it. That's my statement.
Wow.
It's on the internet now. It's on the internet now, so I will stick to my promise.
But
Lewis.
but your girl just turned 21 last Sunday, and I'm picking this today.
Ooh.
yeah,
Wasted no time.
Happy birthday!
Birthday.
Happy birthday!
Oh, now we get the full party.
Yeah, we get a full party for a birthday. And birthday.
We didn't do that on my birthday.
I was just thinking that.
It's okay. It's okay.
Officially 21, everybody.
Late birthday
21.
for David. Late birthday for David. Late birthday. Late birthday. Late birthday for David. Hey. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, David.
I don't even know who's next on the birthday list. I don't know.
I'll figure it
Anyway.
out. But, and we recorded on your birthday too. Oh, David.
We sure
I am
did.
such a horrible wife.
It's okay.
But we're here. We are talking about season 16 of Drag Race, episode 4. Lana and I decided to let everybody back on the panel this week. We needed a couple weeks of just the two of us talking about this beautiful, lovely season of Drag Race.
Yes.
And we decided to let everybody else back this week to talk about a really good RDR Live challenge.
Period.
But I do want to ask our other 3 beautiful humans with us today, not to have your moment because that's going to take too long. But if you have any comments on the last couple of episodes you've not been here to talk about for this season of Drag Race, feel free. I don't know if you do. But if you do,
still gagged about Nymphia's ball look.
Oh,
Well, overall, I'm just so excited for this season. You have a list of talented queens, the amount of shade and drama, and now we're on episode 4. So I'm very excited. 4!
4! I'm very mad that Xunami didn't win this episode. I'm gonna be honest. Just for the meme of that alone.
True.
I'm assuming Lana and David have no clue what we're talking about.
Really? I've got.
There's a meme. There's a video going around of Xunami drunk off her absolute ass. I don't know when it's from, but the video is just her saying "fire," and so people have just been like using it for everything. And so leading up to this episode, everyone's like, "Oh my god, what episode is on Friday? Fire!" I might need that as well as
I've never seen
as
that.
a
But okay.
as an audio.
It has to be merged. No way. It has to be merged. Has to.
I'm surprised she hasn't already. But
That's kind of gaggy.
Yeah, I think this has been a really good season so far. I could see this being my favorite regular season since season 9, but I know it's early to say. But I just really like this cast, especially 3 people: Sapphira, Nymphia, and Q. They are dominating. They're eating. I would love to see them as the top 3.
I was gonna say probably the top 3.
But there are other people that are very popular that I think are extremely overrated. So we might hear about that in this particular.
Do you have anything to say about a mandatory meeting, David?
Oh no.
Thank you.
Ooh,
That's
I
all.
was gonna say, ooh.
That's all I really. Do not speak ill of Mother.
Someone on this cast is the Bird Box of season 16, a movie that's only popular because it's popular and not because it's good.
Because it's good. Ooh.
Right.
I think I know what
That part.
I think I know who you're talking about, and I
No, it
probably
is.
am going to agree with you on that.
I don't know. I think that all of you really like this person. So
I think I know who it is, and I'm going to be mad at you for it, but I understand why.
fair.
But
Okay.
we come back into the workroom after the tragic upsetting and disappointing loss of our gone but not forgotten queen, Hershey Licqour-Jete.
No.
I was very sad about
Hershey,
that.
why? Oh. Whiplash. Bad
Whiplash.
wigs.
Whiplash.
Wasn't she the number one draft pick too?
For me.
Yes,
Oh.
she sure was.
And I
We
will
love
do
her.
it again. And I will draft her first again. I love. And you know what? Honestly, I still think Hershey kind of beat Geneva, but that was just me. That's just me.
She was
That's
number
just me.
3 overall.
Oh.
Oh, well, I was third.
Yep.
But I
Who
picked her
was
first.
number one overall?
Nymphia was 2. Number 1.
Oh, it was Sapphira. No, I didn't have first pick.
It was the one and only
The beautiful and
Xunami
talented.
Muse.
Oh, yeah, because Eve drafted Xunami first. Yes, that makes sense. But yes, we come back in. Hershey is gone. The girls are sad about Hershey, but very quickly get over that because we got to go to the couches and we got to go have more drama because we're congratulating Nymphia on her win, of course, and then Dawn of all people.
Messy.
It's the one
Messy
messy Dusk. I'm calling her Dusk when she's shady. Dusk decided she's gonna be like, so Plain, what was this that you had to say about Miss Amanda in the Untucked last week? And so Plain brings it up again, and it's just like this whole thing, and she apologizes for her, what did she say? Her unwarranted opinion?
Unwarranted. Yeah,
Unasked
unwarranted opinion. And a mandatory meeting says, and not even relevant to the conversation. That is my favorite line. I've been saying that since Friday. I was like,
I love
I'm not
that.
even relevant to the
To
conversation.
the conversation.
It was so, in the way she said it and the way it was just perfection. I was like, yes, this mandatory meeting. Get her again.
Please. And I love Amanda, and I'm not sure how much further she's going to go in this season. I'm going to be real honest. Like, I think we all can accept that and understand it. But we are all always going to remember Amanda on this season for the moments that she's made in these first few episodes alone. The purple, the sound bites. Next week, her comment towards Plain. I can't wait to talk about it.
I cannot wait.
I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Oh.
Thank you. But we move into the workroom the next day. We're doing things and stuff and stuff and things. And then RuPaul walks in.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out that the Maxi Challenge this week is the return of RDR Live. And I, for one, was very thrilled about that. Because I loved it on All Stars 8. I thought somebody else should have won. And I still stand by that to this day. Miss Tasha Davis was robbed.
Not part.
Of a rightful win. I don't think Jimbo was bad in that challenge either. But,
Not with that outfit, though.
okay, yes, I agree with you, but leave Mrs. Tasha Davis alone.
Not with that outfit.
Not with that outfit. I agree with you. I agree with you. I hate you, David. Just David unmuting, just going, not with that outfit, though.
That looks, like I said, David is that sly shade person.
It's not even relevant to the conversation.
It was very relevant to the conversation.
Very relevant to the conversation.
It was very relevant. But that's what makes it funny because now I'm just remembering that outfit and I'm like, Yeah.
Okay. But we're doing RDR Live. Everyone gets to pick their own roles as a group. And of course, this is going to cause more drama. When these girls preseason said, oh, everyone on this season is a villain, they weren't lying.
They weren't.
No. What did we think of this whole debacle? Everything going on with this.
I mean, only like 2 roles were being fought for, right?
Yeah.
It was 2 roles, and then it was another one. The first it was playing and telling Morphine, I don't think you would work well with me because eventually, I'll probably do better. But if it's like, so you're basically saying that you're gonna outshine me, which what you're saying. But she's like, okay, that's fine. I'll pick something else. But you can tell she felt kind of like pissy about it too, because no shade. Like if you're telling me that I'm not good for this role, like. You say basically like, "Oh, you're gonna outdo me." Like, I'll put some type of way too. And then
and I'm gonna be honest. I think honestly, if Megami and Morphine had swapped roles, I think they both would have done better. Honestly, not that I think either of them did fundamentally bad in this challenge. We'll talk about it, but I honestly think had Morphine had the slutty role in the skit with Plane. And had Megami been able to bounce off of Xunami, I think maybe that would have provided something a little bit better.
True, yeah. So that was the first one. The second one was the News Anchor 2 role that Plasma wanted.
News Anchor 2. And Amanda, Dawn, and Q, and mostly Dawn, kind of decides... Well, we already have a thing going on here, and like we already know each other because we were in the same group, and we have a really good rapport here. So, like, girl, you're gonna slay, Barbara. And I was like, don't set up my plasma like that.
I mean, I was like, once I heard what the skit was, I was like, no, plasma, like, this is really the skit for you. I don't know what you're fighting it for. I understand you want to be the news anchor, but this is the one. And then she went on and 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 on about her love for Barbara. And I was like, why are you fighting this? This is like Rachel Berry doing Funny Girl on Glee. Like, this is the role you were meant to be. Like, I don't understand why you're fighting against the grain, against something that was literally handed to you on a silver platter with the word winner underneath. Like, it was a neon sign saying you will win with this role. And it was like, here, take it. And she was like, no, I don't want that role. Why would I want that role? I want to be the news anchor because my Seth Meyer, Amy Poehler fantasy needs to come true. And I'm like, winner. Guaranteed win right here. Take it. No.
I agree, but I also feel like I also kind of feel passion too, like, just being pushed to be like something like your typecasted as. Also, the thing is, as far as like, when you come into Drag Race, we already have like a set of skills that you already have, like, to your advantage. So I didn't think she wanted to like show most of like her theater, like her musicality background, like so early, and want to save it till later. And that she was kind of like, I want to show that I can do more than like, Broadway, singing, all that stuff. So I see her point, but like at the end of the day, it was like the role was perfect for her. So
yeah,
the counter to the counterpoint, because we got to bring it around full circle.
Circling back,
it's like somebody was handing her $1 million and said, "This is your guaranteed money if you do this role." And she said, no, I want to play the news anchor, which had losers right underneath it. It was like, if you do this role, you're losing. You're a loser. And she was like, nah, I kind of want to see if I could. Sometimes typecasting is not a bad thing, because sometimes you are who you are. And if you came into a competition to show who you are and excel in points that you are. Yes, I understand wanting to step away and do something to show the judges that I can do more than this. You have plenty of opportunities if you win this week. And guess how? What you can guarantee to win if you do Barbara. So you can show that you can do something else next week because you'll be here. You take that role, you're losing, and you won't be here because that skit wasn't funny. It just wasn't funny. So I'm like, sometimes you just got to take the typecast. And I would rather be the best friend of the girl in a movie that I know I'm gonna make $20 million on than saying I want to spread my wings in this independent film where I'm the star and we don't make but $5,000 in the box office. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like sometimes you take the typecasting to get you to the next point. And she was fighting it, but I was so glad. She was like, okay, fine. I'll take Barbara. And I was like, thank God, it's your role. It was made for you, Plasma. Like, she went on for 15 minutes about Barbara. I'm like, ain't nobody else in this competition doing that, talking about Barbara as much as you talking about Barbara.
Yeah.
This is your role, girl.
David, didn't you say that about like thinking she was like very Rachel Berry? Like,
yeah, I did. I was telling my roommate as we were watching, I'm like, why am I getting such Rachel Berry vibes from her? And not even 10 seconds later, she goes on her whole spiel about Barbara Streisand. And I'm like, that's why. That's why I was getting Rachel Berry.
That's why.
I did not think Plasma would be the crossfade queen of the season. Like, I did not think it would be Plasma, but I'm not surprised, and I loved that whole moment.
That whole thing, I was like, man, she is Rachel Berry. Everything about her said Rachel Berry.
Down.
I was like, she is Rachel Berry down in this moment. And it's not a bad thing because Rachel Berry got to play funny girl and do Barbara and live out her dream. Do that, girl. When are you going to have an opportunity to do Barbara if you don't put it in your set? You know what I mean?
Well, so here's what I'm thinking about this whole situation. I think Plasma is a Drag Race fan and is very aware of the Drag Race machine, and she's wanting to show as much versatility as she can early. She's already shown who she is. She wants to show as much versatility as she can now, so that way they will keep her around for future challenges. But more so than that, I think she had Barbara planned for Snatch Game. I think that was her Snatch Game character, and I really think she was fighting against wanting to do it. And like, she gave a good excuse for why she didn't want to do it in the episode. In my heart of hearts, I fundamentally believe that Plasma brought Barbara and didn't want to do it because she had brought Barbara for Snatch Game.
I
was gonna say it's funny because like as I've been watching, I'm like, why do I not like Plasma? Like, I have to keep telling myself there's no reason to dislike Plasma because she's done nothing wrong. She's doing well in the challenges, but there's just an urge in me, and I think it is the Rachel Berry of it all that is making me just want to not like her. And I'm like, oh.
Okay, you can't compare her to Rachel Berry. She's an individual person with her own personality.
But hey, I'm aware of it.
By a lot of other people.
I'm aware of it, and I'm actively fighting it. So there's that at least.
Good.
You and Eve both. And I appreciate you both for working on it. But yeah, so Plasma ends up taking the Barbara role in a group where I think she had a much better opportunity to shine in that group, because that group ends up being her, Nymphia, and Sapphira, which I think is a much stronger group. But to get to that group, we also have this fighting over the host role. Which I think Candy Muse did very, very well on All Stars 8, which I think added a little bit of pressure because Candy did do so well. And it ends up coming down between Sapphira, who's like, I would really, really like to host, and Mirage, who I wouldn't have expected personally to want to do that role. I honestly thought it was a little shocking she didn't go for the drunk girl role in the QNN skit, because I feel that's very typecasted for Mirage. But they're going back and forth, and then Sapphira's just like, I'll do Lowenstein. And everyone's like, oh. And Mirage is like, oh, okay. Like, I really think Mirage was like, I'm going to fight for this role just to fight for this role, and I'll end up taking something else. And I genuinely don't think she had thought she was going to end up getting it.
No, like, I know
she did.
Like, here's my thing with Sapphira. I feel like Sapphira, it doesn't matter what Sapphira would have played. I feel like Sapphira would have did well with any role she was like she wanted at all. So I feel like she's like, I like it's not fight. I just want to see how she does it because any day I know I'm gonna do good. Like I'm confident in my abilities. So I think when she stepped out, I think Mark's like, oh my god, like I'm the host, but like also like like, and she tried to like play like game, like and see like if I mess up or something, like, you can tell like the thoughts are start like the doubts are in her head.
This is really RuPaul's social strategy race this season, honestly. Like, more so than All-Star 7 when we were calling it that. It's like the girls are being strategic on this season, and I think it's interesting to see this sort of strategic thing as all of us watch like to some social strategy gameplay, whether on TV or otherwise. Like, we all kind of have that in our brains. It's interesting to see it play out on Drag Race in such a blatant way. Whether Sapphira was doing that or not is another thing.
I really would have loved to see Sapphira in that hosting role in a different world. So it was a kind of a shame that she gave it to Bird Box. I mean, Mirage.
Don't you dare!
But yeah, I really think Sapphira could have got another top placement if she had been the host.
Oh wow!
I don't think you're wrong. Here's my thing, and I like Mirage. I like.
Do you?
Mirage.
I can't tell anymore.
First of all, don't talk to me like that. Don't you dare talk to me like that. and I was just kidding. No, because she is a good queen. She was just good, but I feel like she was still a little rough around the edges, and we are leaving that. We don't talk about it because we like her so much, and she's very kind and sweet and funny, and she did some heel clacks and thought it was good. Like, her song was great. I still sing that song. But was she like, did she come in all fully polished and ready to go like we want our queens to be when they come on this show? Absolutely not. She had some work to do. And we saw it last week in that design challenge. Like, if Hershey didn't come up if she just didn't have ready-made pants and a auntie t-shirt and a crunchy wig, Mirage probably would have been in that bottom too. I mean,
Not
probably
according
would
to
have
the
been there.
scores you gave her last week, Lana.
Oh,
Again, stop talking to me like that. You don't fix this off of camera. Stop talking to me like that. Because I feel like you're attacking me right now.
I just haven't gotten to where I'm attacking David yet. Don't worry. It'll be
Oh.
equal.
Anyway.
No, I'm kidding. I love all these people
You
genuinely.
know, this is all very funny.
No,
games and shit.
But
We're kidding.
but that point stands though, because you didn't have her in that bottom.
I didn't like her look though. The look that she she designed. I really feel like that was she was in one of the bottoms in my.
And she got a pass because of her body, honestly.
Ooh.
Well, you gave her a 74 last week, so
Yeah, but that was not
Because she sold it. She knows how to sell it.
She sold it exactly, but like, I'm looking at
I'm
my
just
list.
saying she wasn't mathematically in your bottom 3 last week. That's all I'm saying on this occasion. And for once, I'm bringing up scores and not David.
I love how you just brought out the notepad.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
brought mine out too, baby.
I literally wrote them all down last week because David wasn't here to do the score.
She was in my bottom 4. I'm not saying I wrote them all. I had them all too. And yeah, but
Fair.
yeah, she was in my bottom
Fair.
4.
And
she was in my bottom 4.
I definitely get what you both are saying. But to that point as well, not all these girls on this season are polished at all. I wouldn't say most of them are that polished.
But they're also not as hyped, Like, I think most of the other ones are being like judged like
Harshly.
fairly for what they've brought on the show. And I think Mirage had like one shining moment that I think people are even making it like a way better moment than it was, just because it's a fad to be like, wow, look how amazing. It takes 6 times to realize how good it was. And I'm sure it is that case for a lot of people, but it also feels like a trend, kind of like Bird Box.
Counterpoint, people that are being hyped. A mandatory meeting. I love her. I think she's incredible. The drag she's giving on this season is not at the caliber of
And what's she being hyped for?
She's not being hyped for her look. She's being hyped for her
who she is.
Her
having
who
back.
she is. Her having.
But Mirage isn't being hyped for her looks either. Mirage is being hyped for her performance ability.
That is true too. I will agree with that.
So like,
and she
that,
does
like,
have a good.
I get what you're saying, David, and I absolutely respect your point. I'm just saying, like, not all of these girls. I wouldn't even say Morphine. Like, Morphine's being hyped for her personality and honestly for defending Amanda against Plain. And that's like, I don't think anything Morphine has brought, really, honestly, look-wise, has been all that great. Performance-wise, not all that great. Look-wise, like, I'm not getting a whole lot. I see what you mean. I'm just saying she's not the only one.
True.
But I get
And
what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
seeing the hype for Morphine. So it's
I
really
like
just
her.
like Mirage, Nymphia, Plain, Sapphira, Cute. That's the ones I see the hype for.
I see different hype for other people included in that. So I think it's probably our curated timelines of what we're seeing on social media.
Yeah.
But they end up settling their roles. We see the Barbara crossfade moment, which was lovely. And then RuPaul walking in. She comes for her walk to. And she gets the Q&N group and she's like, okay, who here has done improv comedy? No one. Not a soul. Not a single person. And then targeting Mhi'ya again, being like, Mhi'ya, what are you going to... No.
No.
I'm like, Mhi'ya, darling diva angel. And they clocked it this week. I can't remember whether it was in the episode or Untucked, but they were like, your personality, I think it was actually the hilarious Ross Matthews going, your personality at home is probably really, really big. And then here, you're just like, she was even like, I feel very intimidated being in front of you both. And I get that. And it's still, this is what, her third episode of Drag Race? Not everyone is going to be a big bombastic personality immediately. So.
It's actually, it kind of reminds me of Crystal Method on her season. Like, she was so timid. Like, she just, everything was like, well, and like knowing Crystal before the show, I was like, that is not the Crystal I see when she's hosting. So a lot of people do have to make an adjustment. And I think hopefully if she gets a few more episodes in her, hopefully we can see the real Mhi'ya, because I think she has a lot of potential.
The funny thing about that is that you see people who you think, because they're performers and they do this, that they're supposed to just be on all the time. And it's like, they just know how to turn it on and turn it off. And that's not the case, because sometimes nerves is a really like real deal. And it's like when you get in front of something or somebody who you admire or who you respect a lot, and this is something that can change your life, it does something to your psyche, and it does something to your, like, I love singing and I love to do it, but it's like I can sing in front of everybody I want to, but if that one person, when I was in college and I was standing in front of my professor and it was like, sing, and it's like, you won't, okay. And I couldn't sing. And it was like, what do you mean? You can stand on the stage and you know it's like a bunch of people out there and you can just sing, but when it's three people looking at you, it's like, I don't know. So I feel for her, but I hope she, like you said, David, if she sticks around for a few more episodes, we can get to see who Mhi'ya is and she can come out of her shell. Because, baby, I was worried for her this week.
Yeah, because Mhi'ya is from Florida. That's like my South Florida sits Miami down. So yeah, it just sucks to see her at this place. But I think you think about it, Drag Race is like a whole different experience. Like I think once you're actually like in that element, it changes for you. So like I think she's still kind of like getting used to being there, and also like just like you have a bunch of personalities in the room. So like just the competition, I think it's pressure competition as well. But I think eventually, I think she'll open up more as the season goes on, and eventually, when that time comes, it's because she has to lip sync for her life. Definitely, we're in for a show.
She's gonna be one of those girls where like it clicks when she has to lip sync. It's either gonna be when she gets like a moment in the top and they praise her for once, which I hope she gets sometime soon, or she ends up in the bottom two and she has to show up. She has to show out or shut up, basically. But I've followed Mhi'ya for a while on social media as well, and I know if they will strategically put her in the bottom a couple times to send some girls home that they want to send home. I'll just say that.
I want to pray
I think
for it.
Mhi'ya is going to be the girl that they strategically put in the bottom. And I'm honestly kind of surprised they didn't do it this week, but we'll talk about it.
I think somebody else was supposed to be the strategic send home.
I think someone else.
I think so too. Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But we go to the next day in the workroom. They're getting ready because, forgot to mention, we're doing RDR live in one take.
One take. I mean,
So-
that's what you do.
Typical SNL.
Yes.
Yeah, literally. But we have our lovely Emmy moment as everybody's getting ready. I didn't realize that this was the first time that we had not only one but two DACA queens on the show. So we get this lovely conversation between Geneva and Xunami. And I'm glad Xunami got some airtime because, God, she is a little invisible in this edit. I gotta be honest. And I know it's because there's still a lot of girls and Plain Jane is hogging up all the goddamn airtime, but and the oxygen in the room. But I was so happy to see Xunami and Geneva have this conversation about both being DACA queens and the reality of their situation that they are still living with and still live with every day. And it just makes me appreciate both of them even more.
I mean, it makes me sad to know that there are people who live in this world, in this country, still worried about if they're just going to get snatched away because they weren't. Like, I'm like, look, if you done lived here for over 7-10 years, baby, you a citizen. Like, it shouldn't be that. I feel like you here. Why are we talking about snatching you away now? You done been here, you done worked, you done put into society, you've been a good citizen. Like, you here. That's like me saying, oh, no. I am still a resident of Chicago when I lived in Alabama for 25 years. Like, no, absolutely not. You are a resident of Alabama. That is where you are. You're not a citizen of Illinois anymore. You don't live there. You're not a resident there. You are a resident in Alabama. So, and I'm like, I hate that because like they both were like, they could stop this at any point in time. Any legislature could come in right now and say the DACA Act is over, and all of those children will have to go to a place they've never been. And it's just like, it's sad. It's very sad. I hope we never lose that because it doesn't make any sense for that.
And unfortunately, I think it could be there's
it's a real thing.
Of being a real situation.
Absolutely.
In the coming years.
Absolutely. That's why we need people to go vote and vote for people, not just your own interests, but people who you love's interests as well. So, PSA, go vote if you are a citizen of the United States to help people who doesn't have the right to vote.
Something to bring up about this. Yeah. Something about bringing up. So sorry. Something to bring about this too, because like it kind of paralleled season 12 when both Jackie Cox and Nikki Doll came in under green card status. So the fact that both Xunami and Geneva were under DACA, which I was like, oh, like, and it shocked me that they talked about this too, because like when Xunami first talked about it, I was just like, where is this going? I was just like, that makes me so happy. Like it makes me so happy.
Because I know a lot of people that I grew up with and went to school with that came here and are living here still because of DACA. Like some of my very, very good friends from high school live here because of DACA. And so like that, like, and I don't know if anybody else has personal experience with it, but like I know people and I care about people that are here because of it. So like for me, it's such a like a fundamental thing that like I loved seeing this conversation. And that's why I like that we have all of these, the Emmy moments as we call them, because it shows the realness behind all of this drama and people in wigs, you know, all that kind of stuff. So.
Well, I want to talk about another Emmy moment because it just really got me. It was so emotional.
Oh, Jesus.
When Amanda was talking about being a ghostwriter for OnlyFans.
You know why?
I know exactly where you were going.
I knew where he was going because I was like,
Yeah, I was just like, I know where this is going.
you dumb person, you. I love you so much.
David, I hate you, but I love you.
I was like, oh my god.
When
My
KaMorian
acting
was like,
worked
"Oh,
on one
no."
person.
Look, only person you got was KaMorian because I'm like,
David Healy, I'm sorry, my dear, but you are up for elimination.
No.
Oh,
But
like,
yes.
did I cry? Like, I'm just like this moment right now. Like, what?
I was like, okay, acting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was
Better actor
like,
than a lot of these people are.
that
Oh.
part. And you still don't claim that you're the shadiest one on this panel, David.
No, never. But no, for real, I thought it was so funny. Like, I had no idea that OnlyFans people had ghostwriters like responding to people in their DMs. So it was just so funny hearing her talking about like, oh yeah, all these straight guys think that they're hitting up like a blonde woman with boobs, and well, they kind of are, but it's me.
I know someone else who does it part-time.
Really?
So I was
love
like,
Amanda.
I knew that existed, and I was like, oh, that's so fun. But it's only for like the top like 2% of people, which are all blonde bimbos with big tits.
I was gonna say, I need to get in on that gig. I can do that from house. Like, I could sit here at home and do that. I can just type to people all day. That's fine.
Yeah.
Somebody hook me up with that job. Let me know. Call me.
Amanda.
Hit me in my DMs. Amanda, hit me up in my DMs.
Well, Amanda's not going to need the job anymore because now she's a worldwide superstar. So
I know. So let me get your spot, girl. Let me get your spot. I need the extra cash.
And speaking of Amanda, thank you, David, because we now have
Even relevant to the conversation.
I cannot wait to use that.
Or even relevant to the
Oh, I'll be using-
conversation.
I will be using that a lot.
and I love that right above it in our list of sound bites is
We should all aspire to have the confidence of a straight white man.
If y'all have not watched The Trust, yeah, that's where that came from. And I, will be using
I thought
that.
you were about to tell people to watch it.
Dang.
I mean, they can watch it if they want to.
Just
You can
did.
watch it if you want to, but watch The Trust and you will see that where that came from because I use that button a lot because the confidence of a straight white man is hilarious.
I didn't watch, but I
Maddie
saw that
Morphosis.
one straight white man was homophobic and racist and misogynist, and I said, good. I'm glad he's getting called out for his
Oh,
shit.
you haven't seen the half of it. Go look at his
No, I
Instagram.
haven't. I would rather not.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather not. But I think it's time for us to go to the runway. I'm glad it played for everyone because it did not play for me. So I'm glad everybody did. Also, guest judge Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes.
Yes. Who I thought was a lovely guest judge.
She was so
No,
good.
she was great. She
Very
was
good.
great.
Every
She was
critique was
in it. I was like,
amazing.
Exactly. I was like, oh yeah. And then she started back the trend of guest judges going back to Untucked and talking to girls. Because that was broken last week by a man we will not speak of. But RuPaul looks great.
This is a
This
good
It
RuPaul
was
look, it's
cute.
simple. It's simple, but it's like still so classic RuPaul.
Mm-hmm.
Work Ru. Yeah.
Loves
And
it.
everybody else is there, honestly, unfortunately. RuPaul didn't get the black memo. Well, she
I
is
mean,
black.
Yeah, I was about to say that part.
I wasn't saying. She said, I got it, but it's me.
I'll wear pink instead.
Mhm.
Right. I'll be black. I'm always
Yes. Everybody else is wearing black. She is black.
I am black. So, yeah.
Yes.
Black butter.
Period.
A great album, which you should go stream. Available on
Okay.
iTunes, probably. I don't know.
Is it Shea Butter?
No. It is like,
I don't know, but I'm about to say.
not to be confused with
no,
Black Pepper,
burn.
Mm.
who we love.
Mhm.
It's time for RDR Live. I didn't pull photos of the whole opening sequence, but I love that no one wanted to do their opening with Plane, so she just did it by herself. Did y'all notice
that's what
that?
it was.
I did
Do you
notice
think
that. I was
what it
just
was?
like, oh,
I-
wait, you're right.
Probably.
I don't know. Maybe Flame wanted it that way.
But like it could have. Well, the thing is, like, they could have done it where it was pairs of 2 and 1 person, but there was also a group with 3 of them. So I was like, "What's
Yeah, I
what's
know. I
happening
was just
here?
like, what's the T? And also, like
don't
the fact
know.
it's so weird because usually SNL does like by alphabetical order by last name, and I
And
thought
this
they
was
were gonna
nothing
do
of the sort.
nothing of the sort because I was just like, where is this going? It's because like and they didn't do it by skit either. So
They said,
Right.
"Pair up, bitches." And then Sapphira with the limbo. I was like, "What is happening? What is this?" I do have a slide for each skit, so we can talk briefly about each skit individually.
yes,
Overall, I will say I really enjoyed this. I thought this was more successful than the All Stars 8 version, honestly.
no, same. Yeah, I agree.
By his facial expressions, I'm assuming David does not agree.
I don't.
Well,
I thought this was fine. This was fine.
okay. Well, party, I guess. Let's start with our first skit, QNN. We had Xunami and Morphine as Branderson Cooper and what was Morphine's? Who was Brandy
Supposed-
Cohen? I think.
Brandy, like
Brandy
it has to be along
Cohen.
again. It has to be along lines between Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen. So
Yes. Mhi'ya as Donna Lemon.
or Don Lemon. Yep.
And then poor Geneva as allegedly Lindsey Graham, who she didn't know.
Peggy G.
But she didn't know who that was.
No.
And it showed.
And I don't blame her.
I mean, but you have
Then don't
to-
pick the
Don't
role!
pick the role. You don't know who Lindsey
Don't pick the
Graham is.
role! This was, for me, definitely the weakest skit on
Yeah.
a whole. Because I thought the only person that did well in this skit was Xunami.
Yep.
I thought Mhi'ya did cute. I actually was kind of giggling what Mhi'ya was trying to do. It was some cute. I think actually Mhi'ya did good in the challenge. I think, but when it came to runway, when we get there, it was a different story. But I thought she was cute. I was getting what mine was the Morphine. It was cute. It was like very safe, like one note from Morphine, and then Geneva. She didn't know who the man is. So it like Rebecca Glasscock gave more comedy than what she was giving. So it's kind of like it was very.
Why are we still referencing Rebecca Glasscock in 2024? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why.
Not
we're
even
doing
relevant
it.
to the conversation.
Exactly.
Not even relevant to the conversation.
Yeah,
Like-
I do agree this was the weakest group. It's kind of funny though because 2 people actually did make me laugh, but they weren't really for the best reasons. It was Geneva and Mhi'ya. But I actually think Mhi'ya could have been safe for sure because she was very committed physically. Just her voice was not matching what she was delivering physically, and I wanted her to really commit with the dialogue as well. But I really I kind of enjoyed her like almost in a train wreck kind of way. Xunami and I get all the M names mixed up. Morphine,
This is Morphine.
Yeah, this is
Morphine.
just like a random like lost for my brain. But yeah, they were perfectly safe roles. Like it would be hard to be in the bottom or be ahead with their roles. So the other 2, they had really sink or swim type of roles, and unfortunately, it didn't work out for them.
something about Mhi'ya though. Like yes, like there weren't the levels that was there, but she was also like you said, like very committed because like I really thought that like yes, the over the top was gonna make the role. So of course that didn't really translate as much, but something that gets to me every time is just the one eyelash. Just the one eyelash.
I was like, is everything that Mhi'ya did in the skit, was it all intentional?
I think so, because she was in the middle of a storm, and I think the storm will blow the eyelash off, and she's like, "Oh, my hair is blowing, my eyelashes off," and da da da. I think it was very, and that's what I liked about it. I thought it was very. She committed to this role very much, and sure, she was screaming, but what else would you do when you're in a windstorm? How else do you communicate? You can't be like, "So yeah, it was great out here," and the wind is just whipping you around, and then it was crazy.
I was like, this is the most personality we've gotten out of Mhi'ya this whole season.
They were like, it was just one level. I was like, I don't know what you wanted her to do, where her skit is she's outside in a storm being blown around and blown away on a windy microphone. Like, what did they want her to do? Just be like, oh wait, this is me talking, and this is a storm happening. Oh no, it's here. Ah! Like it's not the storm. Version. It was just crazy. But I appreciated that she committed to it. She jumped on the house with the man and was like, I would have. The only thing
that killed me. I was just like climbing up to the house with Bryce. I was just like, what is happening?
I loved it.
Like the only thing I would say she could have did, like if she would have jumped on them and then just like grabbed them, like, saving my life, and I almost didn't make it, girl. Like
I don't think they filmed those portions together.
No, it wasn't filmed together.
I don't think Bryce was in the room when this one take was happening. So
I'm like, so what do they want from her?
I don't know. I would agree. I think Mhi'ya should have been safe, and I think someone else from this group should have been in the bottom 3. And probably the bottom 2.
That part. Sadly.
And that for me would have been Morphine. Because I couldn't tell you a single thing Morphine said. I couldn't tell you a single thing she did. Her physical comedy was non-existent, and all she relied on was being this drunk girl, and she didn't even do that well. So, like, and we'll talk about her look, which I didn't personally think was spectacular. So, leave Mhi'ya alone. Well, we wouldn't have gotten the iconic moment on the runway. So, you know what?
That part. Oh, right. We'll get to there. We'll get to there.
Talk about it. But let's talk briefly about Mirage as the host of the skit. I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, same.
I did.
Yes, she dropped some lines, and yes, she had some stumbles. But I thought it was very, like, she did better than, honestly, a lot of SNL hosts. I can't tell you which ones right now because I do not religiously watch that show. I still think she should have been in the bottom 3, but I don't think she should have been in the bottom 2. For me,
I think she was kind of boring. It was very flat. It wasn't like when people do SNL and they're doing their monologue, it's either like you're cracking your jokes and you got to engage. And it was like she was just like, so. I mean, it felt like Mirage just being Mirage. It wasn't like there was a character behind it, which I guess you don't really need because when you're doing the monologue, it's your person doing the monologue. It just was. She dropped, like you said, she dropped some lines. She stumbled over some things, but she was just like, so, I mean, if like a mandatory means makeup. But I'm like, okay, girl. But like, it wasn't anything that made me go, yeah, yes, that's a good, but like, I like leaving monologues like, oh, that was a good monologue. And I left like, I'll forget everything she say in the next 5 minutes of this thing. Like, I don't know what the rest of her jokes were or what she was talking about. It was just this was very one note for me. Very one note, very flat. And she moved around a whole lot and she was it just didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I agree. This was the only one of anybody who actually like made me physically uncomfortable, like listening to them, because there was a severe lack of charisma the whole time she was talking, even before she flubbed her line at the very end. And even when that happened, I was like, oh, that sent home Mrs. Kasha Davis in season 7. So watch out.
It's the curse.
It is. You don't want to misspeak, I guess, when you're doing one of these.
Don't you dare misspeak in front of RuPaul, because then you go home.
Yeah, I do think she was the worst of the night.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, she wasn't as bad for me because but I do agree her delivery could have been a lot better because I was trying my best because I was just like I know where this is going already because that was one of the critiques as well, and I was just like I wish we could have got it a little bit faster, but hey, but I will say this though, her as the Grim Reaper in the cold open.
Grim Reaper. Ooh. Just kidding, it's me, Mirage.
Yeah. I think she started off very well, and I think for me, as soon as she messed up, I was like, oh no, literally as she started fumbling her words, I had my pillow across my face, I was not looking at the screen because it was just so, it was just so, it was oh, it was dang, it was kind of she kept it got worse and worse as she kept going. So I was just she wasn't as bad. To me, she was kind of the second worst. Geneva for me was the worst of the night for me. Then it was Mirage. Yeah, but it just happens. It wasn't her night.
I did forget to bring up when we talked about our Emmy moments as well. Her talking about how she is Mexican American and Indigenous, and being a part of the first Indigenous Pride in Las Vegas, which I love. I believe, is she the first Indigenous queen on U.S. Drag Race?
I didn't think about that.
I gotta think.
The Trixie erasure.
Oh yeah, Trixie was.
That's what I was about to say, David. You just beat me to it. I was going to say Trixie Mattel.
Wow. I believe she's the first Mexican American and Indigenous queen, so good for her. Adding to the Latina flavor of the season, which Next skit was Megami and Generic Judy, because they love Dex. Now I'm not gonna spend this whole season comparing this woman over here. This
Other
one.
That way.
That way.
Yeah.
I'm drunk. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna spend the whole season comparing this woman to Jimbo. But in this moment, I'm comparing her to Jimbo. Because what she did was the Wish version of what Jimbo did in the same skit, in the same challenge on All Stars 8. That's all I have to say. Megami was fine.
Yeah, it was a cute. It was cute. I liked the beat, but yeah, it was just it was cute. Nothing to me white humor is not my thing. So.
Why did I feel that in my soul when you said it? I was like,
I'm sorry. I just don't get white humor. I'm sorry.
I get it because I was like, I didn't laugh. People thought this was funny. I didn't laugh at all. And I didn't think it's because they were bad. I just didn't find it funny.
Yeah.
I was just
humor.
So this is based off of one of my favorite skits in recent Saturday Night Live history, like the former porn stars. I think they're hilarious. I guess I do like white humor. But
rest in power, Sophie.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh no. Sorry, David, go ahead.
Who's Sophie?
She's one of the cock destroyers.
Oh, I didn't know anything about that.
Which is what this whole thing is based off of.
Well, yeah.
And she passed recently.
I didn't know that. Sorry. But with that said, I'm sorry. Next, how do I critique this?
Transition from that?
I love that KaMorian, Brandon, and I all in sync. We're like, oh, and Lana and David are just like,
Yes, my
If you couldn't tell
deepest
generational differences on this panel before, now you can. No shade.
But I thought they were both pretty good. I did not like it as much as I did Jessica or Jimbo last season. With that said, I did think Plain Jane was the better of the two, and I actually would have had Plain Jane in the top 3. I think she deserved her spot personally.
I just didn't
get
laugh.
it. The thing is for me, because like again with the whole white humor thing, it's just like, why did it feel so very monotone for me?
Yeah,
Because it was.
But that's what it was.
Because
It felt
because they both
monotone.
acted it. And I get the character that generic Judy was trying to do. And like, I don't think she did a bad job by any means of the imagination. And I definitely think there is a world based on challenge and runway to justify putting her in the top 3. I do agree with you, David. For me personally, I think she would have been 4th in this whole week.
And but the whole like monotone thing with too, because like I think generic Judy felt for me was just like, it felt like forced. I don't know how to describe it. Like it was like forced, like not over the top, but like more forced. Like that, like that was to me. And then Megami had like the levels that I wanted. So I can't really like describe how I like felt about this one. All I can say is like this screen grab though with the is that the panty on Megami?
Oh yeah. She had her panties were on the ground the entire skit.
Yep.
And I do agree with that. I think Megami had the levels. I just don't think her comedic timing was all there. Whereas Plain, I think she had the comedic timing, just didn't have those levels. And in an ideal world, those would have come together to create a really, really good skit together. And for some reason, it didn't. And I don't know. And Lana didn't laugh.
I didn't laugh. That's all I was saying. I just didn't laugh.
I had to pull up the fact that our musical guest was RuPaul.
That was so kind.
I was like, we just had to have a moment for RuPaul to do a musical number. Okay, great, sure, why not?
Yes, because I missed that from the RDR Live on All Stars 8.
Yeah, oh, you gotta have a performance. It's SNL.
I guess so.
But I have to say, this is in my opinion, one of the best RuPaul performances we've seen on Drag Race in a long time.
Agreed.
I was like, you better move more than you normally do, Ru. Good for you, Ru.
And she's still wearing that nice little suit that I think she wore it like years ago, and she could still fit in like so perfectly. Like,
I don't know if it's the same one. It's probably a recreated one.
Maybe they recorded this years ago.
Well, this was on a different stage, so
it was on a different stage. Did y'all note that too?
Yeah, it was. It must have like kind of like.
I think that they did because I'm pretty sure the main stage collapses, and so it collapses like the part where everyone stands on. I think that collapses, and I think they just did that.
Possibly because like the background was like the main stage, and then they had like it was a V shape that I was just
it came together at a point. I was like, oh, weird.
I don't pay that much attention to nothing, so
that's fair. I was just like, this shot was gorge, so I was like, let's acknowledge Ru again.
Sure.
We gotta move to Weekend Update with Amanda, Dawn, and the star of the show in this skit, Q.
Yeah.
It's the fucking brick from Stonewall. Like,
this is where I laughed. This is where I laughed. I said, Q. I mean, I thought Dawn's jokes were funny to Amanda and was kind of like, a little shady. It was funny. It was cute. But I felt like Q owned this whole thing. And it was like, if Q wasn't in it, we wouldn't remember this skit at all. It'd be like, that was cute. That was all right. Q was so funny. Her jokes landed the way her timing was impeccable. Does it matter? Like, that was my favorite.
Yep. Does it matter?
Does it matter? Like, I got thrown through a window. Like, I loved Q in this moment. She made me laugh the hardest. I was like, "Yep, work should win."
Yeah, I thought this was definitely the highlight of the night. And if you had told me that out of this group, Dawn would be by far my least favorite, I wouldn't have believed you. But she definitely called it on Twitter. She said low safe, and I do think she was low safe. But for me, I would have had Q and Amanda in the top 3. I thought they both did very, very well. In fact, I kind of wish Amanda had been the host after seeing her here, because she had all of the charisma where I thought Mirage was lacking it. So she absolutely would have nailed that hosting role. But it was more of a
swap the two.
True. Yeah.
Don't know that Mirage would have done all that bad here.
I think you're right. But yeah, Q, I'm just going to say it robbed.
Disagree wholeheartedly.
No, same. Yeah. But I will say this, though. Why did no one fight for Q's role?
Exactly.
I mean, that's like the stupidest of all roles, and that's when you make it funny. That's like the role you would go for.
I guess they all were kind of like, well, Q is kind of like that fits Q, because Q kind of has this more like quirky, dumb, and I mean that in the best way, sort of humor, at least what we've seen. So I guess when everyone was like, oh, Q wants it, sure, whatever.
But if you're looking into a thing of characters, you ain't gonna just migrate to the brick and say, oh, I want to be that. I want to be the brick, because usually that's like saying you want to be the tree in the forest. Like, nobody goes to the play and wants to be the tree. Nobody wants to be the brick. So everybody was probably looking at that and was like, the brick, absolutely.
I want to be tree number 3.
Like, right, and Q was like, "Ooh, the brick! I'll take it, because I can just be me and be stupid and dumb and crazy." And I don't think nobody gonna fight me for it, and they didn't, and they should have, because that was one of the best roles out there. But I don't think anybody could have did it the way Q did it.
She kind of reminded me of Trinity the Tuck a little bit in this role, which I think
starfish.
Trinity had some very good acting moments in her seasons, and so yeah, that kind of gave me the better version of Trinity. Even her voice sounded very similar to me.
That's why I brought up Thank You to Starfish, and you're just like, no, anyway.
I mean,
but I will say one thing.
Moment for her.
Yeah, but I will say one thing. I would say Amanda's mug actually looks very good here. Like her mug and her hair, she love. It actually looked very good.
She took what was probably a week and a half at most between filming her premiere and this episode, and the improvement in the makeup has been very good. And I'm happy to see it. But yeah, I thought both Amanda and Q did really well, and I think there's a universe where Amanda could have been in the top 3 this week, because I really do think here, and we'll talk about her runway, I thought we're both very, very strong. Dawn faded for me so severely, and when you were talking about Bird Box, David, I thought you were talking about Dawn. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Dawn could have been in the bottom, but I was very underwhelmed by Dawn in this.
No, yeah, same.
I can't tell whether it's if she just has a very dry sense of humor and I need to acclimate to her humor, which I think is what it is. But the delivery, like, I thought Amanda's delivery of all of the Weekend Update sort of stuff, I think was a little bit stronger. And I wish they had played off of each other a little bit more than they did. Like, I wanted some physical comedy. I wanted some, like I wanted my replies whenever Lana says something and is coming for me. And I'm just like, like, I want some more physical comedy brought into it. And she wasn't giving it. Amanda was giving it and Q was giving it. So. And our last group, the Barbara Shop Quartet -1, which was just Nymphia, Sapphira, and Plasma.
I don't think we need to talk about this song, because we all know Plasma stole the show. Everybody else was secondary characters in this play. They were funny. Some were funny. It was not bad moments. It wasn't like anybody was horrible. But Plasma was the star of this thing. Like, period, point blank. I love me some Nymphia. I love me some Sapphira. But this was Plasma's. This is Plasma's to take. Everybody, they were solidly safe, Nymphia and Sapphira, but Plasma ate one down in this one. This was
That's
just
again.
for her. This was just
Yeah.
for her.
I would say for me, part like if you talk about like the whole thing, this is part overall. I think for me, this overall was the best group overall. I feel like overall as a team, like when they each had a moment to shine, like they were all like funny, they were all like very good. But I think definitely Plasma was just the ice of the cake. Like she pretty much stole the whole show, just her delivery. Like we can see like El Paso, this was for you the whole time. You know what I mean? It's just like yeah, she is very talented. She really is, and just the mannerisms. It was perfect. I enjoyed it.
I do want to put some respect on Sapphira's name here because I thought
Mhm.
she was very close to Plasma. Personally, I
Mhm.
mean it was Plasma, but Sapphira was right behind her. I do think Nymphia was the weakest here. She was just doing a little bit too much. Also, I think Plasma had less of a challenge here since
Mhm.
since she's able to look more like Barbara Streisand to begin with. So I was impressed with Sapphira for how close she was even able to come here. Personally, I would have had these as the three highest of the safes. I know that's a hot take because everybody
Mhm.
loves Plasma. She was very good. She was fourth for me overall.
Mhm.
I actually agree with you, David, because I tweeted this saying that this should have been the top. If this was in groups, this was my top three.
I
So,
agree.
because
There was groups too.
like I was like, oh, I wouldn't say I was a little worried, but I was just like seeing how Nymphia was gonna do in this challenge specifically because she is not a singer.
Mhm.
Sapphira and Plasma are, and the way that Nymphia held her own in this like made everything
Mhm.
like perfect, like for her to be part of the skit, and like I was like thoroughly impressed, like thoroughly impressed.
I agree to an extent with everyone here on the panel. Shocker.
Mhm.
I think Sapphira and Nymphia for me would have been my 5 and 6, and that kind of rounded out like the top part of the performances for me. I think Nymphia for me did too much and then also simultaneously not enough in certain places, but I think it all kind of balanced out to where she was playing the straight man character in this, and I think she did that very, very well, as the gayest possible straight man she could be. I really enjoyed what Sapphira did. And I think there's a universe where Sapphira could have been in the top. And I wouldn't have been surprised by that at all. I think what
Especially with the
separated,
runway.
and we'll talk about it because I do agree, but I think the difference maker for me, um, between Sapphira and Plasma as opposed to Nymphia was that I think Sapphira and Plasma both had a lot more physical comedy and were kind of playing off of each other, and Nymphia was kind of in the middle, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Plasma for me was the best in this group, just because I think all of the physical comedy mixed with the song, mixed with the performance, she had all of the levels needed. This was, like we talked about, and like you said, Lana, this was her part to win. Winner, neon sign, arrows pointing to the neon sign. Like this was her moment, and she had it for sure. So, but I do agree. If it was going to be judged in groups, this was the strongest skit by far for me. So, now category is everything, every share, all at once. And I, for one, am fundamentally disappointed that no one did the opera look from Moonstruck, because that is what I would have done.
Getting
And
images.
that's what this is. The one
Getty
that I pulled.
images.
Getting in.
I think so. I think
Uh-huh.
so.
Who knows?
I would be surprised if it wasn't. But yeah, I was like, I had to pull my favorite share look because I made the slideshow, so I could do that.
Lovely slideshow, Logan. You did a
I love
great
the
job with
background.
this one.
Thanks.
Love the
Lana.
background.
Thanks, David.
Can't even compliment people in these days.
Everything, every share, all at once. First up, Megami as If I could turn back time.
I thought this was fine. It was fine. It was fine. And I gave her a 70.
I thought it was pretty good, actually. I think she looks really good. Her face is good. I like the big wig on her because we're used to seeing like small wigs or no wigs. So I thought she did very well with this. She was in my top half for the looks. I gave her a 78.
Yeah, this was pretty good. Like pretty like up to standard on what like compared to the pictures. I was just like, oh, this is actually and love the hair in this, and then like pretty close with the outfit. Give this an 80.
Yeah, I like this. I know we have seen so many versions of this outfit like in the past, so of course, so it was cute. It was a very good, safe look. Everything about it was perfectly done. The hair, the mug, the body, and illusion. So it was cute. It was safe for me. So I'm gonna give it a 70. It was cute. It was safe look.
I was a little bit higher on this look just because I think the recreation of the original Cher look was one of the stronger
Hmm.
direct translations for that. And I liked this choice from Megami. Body, always loved it. I'm going to give her an 80.
Hmm.
Next up, we have Mhi'ya Iman LePaige. Maybe also as If I Could Turn Back Time, but allegedly she is Cher promoting burlesque in 2010. Lana, what'd you think?
I'm very confused. I didn't know what this look was for. And I now that I'm seeing the picture of the look that she was supposed to be recreating, I'm like, is
Allegedly.
it though? Right, allegedly. I'm like, is it though?
I think she also brought the If I Could Turn Back
Yep.
Time look, and one of them had to do a different one.
I guess because that's what I'm getting more of that. I'm not, and if it was, if I can turn back time, look, this wig just either or the wig just ain't doing it for either look. If I can turn back time or for this one, it's just not doing it. I felt kind of bad for my girl because I was not feeling this one either. I gave it a 70 as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think this was my least favorite of the night. And I hate saying that because Mhi'ya holds a very special place in my heart. I really like her, but it just did not fit the look she was going for. And I did have issues with not only her hair, but her makeup. It just feels not season 16. Like it feels season 2. I'm ready for some improvements. I want people to give her tips like they're giving Amanda tips.
Mm.
Hmm.
And your score, David?
Oh, I gave her a 65.
Okay.
I will say this outfit is clean. I'll say that. But if it's supposed to be giving the red carpet and burlesque, it really doesn't. Um, if yeah, I agree with the wig because it's not like styled as this, but at the same time, like it's her wig, and I do like this wig on her, but score wise, I would have to give this also a 65.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, like David, like I love my fate. That's my fate. That's my hometown girl, Florida represent. But she was for me. She was the worst of the night, in my opinion. Unfortunately, and yeah, it's a clean thing. But I think far as the concept, you know, if it was turned back time, I think Megami did better than her. Fortunately, it's just the hair, and I think just the proportions for me, unfortunately. But I did love her funny impression. I feel great. That was hilarious. I mean, like, with Altino shit, I probably would not. I don't think I have a good share impression either. So, but yeah,
Whoa! Snap out of it.
but yeah, it's a 65 for me as well. I love you, girl. I love you, Maya. But I'm sorry, I can't be biased. My fave.
I also really enjoyed Mhi'ya, but I do agree with both of you. This was my least favorite of the night. It just felt the least inspired. Is unfortunately what it was for me. I like that wig on her. I just want it to be teased a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's really, yeah. I'm gonna give her a 62. Next up, Miss Plain, doing Cher at the 1974 Met Gala.
Can't be mad. She ate this up. I can't even hate. She ate this up. She looks like Cher. She gave me Cher. This is what we asked for. And this dress is stunning. She looks beautiful. Her mug is great. I love the wig. To give me the slick back Cher, even though Cher got curls in this and this slick down, Cher is still good. She ate this up. I could not be mad at her. And I gave her a 97.
Ooh.
It was beautiful.
Ooh.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I do think she looks great. It's a great match here. This is my 5th favorite of the night. I like the wig. I just wish it was more draggy. Like it's even smaller than what Cher's hair is here. So and it's a little weird seeing her in this hair. Like I don't know, it was jarring. But everything else works for me. So I gave her an 80.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, like I actually like how there's more fringe on the bottom because like you can see in the picture, it's like it's more on toward the leg. And I love that's more fringe. I was just like, okay. And I do agree with the wig because I was just like, it could have been more. Like could have reused her entrance wig with this, if I'll be honest. So I'll give it a 90.
Some Morticia hair.
For me, what makes a perfect like outfit or like look for like a thousands like for a celebrity runway, for me, I like get like the exact reference but also like drag it up and modernize it, and that's exactly what Plain did for me. She still kept the same look but gave it more drag and like a more like a modern version of the look, which I love. I just think the hair. I think the hair could have been, I think, a better like more curly or like something like. And it was very like flat, like a flat. It was like I don't know. It was something with the hair, but overall, it was still kind of I think my top 3 favorites of the night. It was just perfection to me. So I'm gonna give it a 95.
Unfortunately, Your Honor, she ate here a little bit. Like I can't. Whoever made this for her, props to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she made it. If she made it, you know what, girl, props to you. The one thing I had was with this hair unit. It feels like there needed to be a few more tracks in the unit itself because it feels flat and it feels like piecey, especially in the front here. In the top photo we see, like it's just a little too piecey for me. But otherwise, I think the garment itself is gorge, and I'm going to give her a 92. Next up, Nymphia. Miss Nymphia doing Egyptian Goddess Cher from 1979.
I love Nymphia. I love Nymphia. And she not wearing a whole lot of clothes, but neither was Cher, so I ain't worried about that. This look to me is so good. I really enjoyed what she did with the flare. Like she added the cape that Cher didn't have, and then she still had the hooks, which she did have. I love this headpiece. And people talk about, is she wearing twist? I'm like, yeah, she wearing twist. And it looks good. It works. I don't mind it at all. I ain't mad at it. Let the girl wear twist. I love this look. I was a fan of this look. I love this look. I also gave it a 97.
Yeah, I don't think Nymphia misses on the runway. She hasn't missed yet.
Not yet.
I don't anticipate her missing anytime soon. I think she looks stunning. This looks expensive. Like just looking at the details, it looks like it cost a lot of money. And I agree with Lana. She dragged it up by adding the cape. Great job. I gave it a 91.
Need I say more?
She did what's needed to be done.
For audio listeners.
Yes.
Yep.
Brandon apparently
Yes.
doesn't like our audio listeners.
I was gonna say it, and then you said it for me, so thank you. Again, need I say more?
Whatever.
Anyways, my cup is full.
And KaMorian's score for Nymphia is a 95, by the way. But yeah, this is perfection. She has not missed yet on the runway, even with the bananas.
Especially with the banana.
Especially with the bananas.
I love the bananas.
Yeah, I love this was different for me for Nymphia, and I really appreciate we're seeing different things on the runway from her, and I like it. I also love that this is the closest body match we've gotten between tights and like body makeup, and I really appreciate it. It wasn't perfect, but it was very close, and so I do appreciate that she was all one color as opposed to Miss Generic Judy last week. My score for Nymphia is a 96. Next up, we have Morphine Love Dion as Cher at the Academy Awards in 1988.
This was good. This was good. It's good. I wanted it to be a little bit closer. Like I love this look on Cher. This is one of my favorite Cher looks for a long time because I was like, she looks so goddamn stunning winning that Oscar at that moment, at that time. And it's good. I just wanted it to look more. Like I get that, you know, I wanted to cut out. I guess that's what it is. I wanted to cut out. I wanted to see the stomach. And like Morphine has the body to do that. I wanted to see that. But it was good. It was solid. I didn't mind it. I'm not a fan of the wig though. I don't know what it is about it. Just I'm not a fan of it. But I think her face is great. But for me, it's an 84.
Well, she wasn't showing off her BBL here, Lana, so she couldn't show off her stomach.
Well,
it wasn't her BBL, so
she should have.
Yeah, I think she looks very good. There's just something about Morphine though, like she always looks good, but it's like a safe good, you know? And I want to be surprised by her. I've yet to be surprised by her on the runway. Hopefully next week. I gave this 76.
Yeah, I kind of agree because like this is good. However, I want to see more elevation. I do say it's like I will say it's like it's an exact replica, but I also like agree with Lana with the whole like wish I could see more mesh with the stomach. So also an 80.
I think my difficulty here is I think the recreation is pretty good. I just think it looks cheaper than the original by a large margin. I think her face looks great. I do agree with the comment about everything she's worn has been fine but safe. I'm waiting for Morphine to do something to surprise me.
We want more Fiend.
I want more. Give me more Fiend. Yeah, this look altogether for me doesn't do it. I'm gonna give her a 77. Next up, we have Mirage as Cher in Concert from 1979.
I like this look. I think she looks. It's a good replica of the look. I think it's y'all know me. I love me some purple. It's cute. It looks good. I agree with. I did have to agree with Rue with the different, like the genres of hair for this one because it's kind of like it kind of threw me a little bit because I was like, that's a 60s dude, and this is my 70s Cher, and I'm like, I get it. I like it. I like the wig, but I was like, does it go with this look? It's not giving me it goes with this look. It's something disjointed about it, but I still like it, and I thought she looked beautiful in it. And yeah, I gave it a 87.
I actually didn't have any issues with the wig. I really like this outfit. I like how flowy it is. She's great at picking outfits that show off her movement very well. And I think not only did the outfit do that, but so did this long wig. My issue's really with the nude illusion in the middle there. I don't like that. But everything else I thought was pretty good. I gave it a 77.
I really like this. Like the way that she made like a variation of what this is and made it her own. Like that's what I love about it so much. I like the hair. I actually like the hair. But I agree to some extent, like 60s hair in a 70s outfit, but you can wear a 60s do in the 70s. So
hairstyles that were created in the 60s did not expire in the 60s. And that was my frustration with Rue's comment on that.
That part. 85 for me. So
Yeah, I love this look on her. She looks beautiful. I think purple looks very good on her, and just the mug and the makeup is beautiful. I love the hair as well, even though the whole 60s thing, like the minute like Ru clocked, I was like, oh well, yeah, she's definitely in trouble, because like I remember what, like back in All Stars 3 where Aja, where like 60s kind of hair with her look, she came for her, and then boom, she was in the bottom, and then boom, she got sent home. So it was kind of like,
don't wear this hair on Drag Race. Don't do it. You go home.
like definitely, but like as far as the look, it was beautiful. So I'm gonna give it a 85.
I love this. And see, I wouldn't want the Cher hair from the original photo. I wouldn't want it with this outfit, because this hair for me feels very Mirage, and that's what she brought of herself into this Cher look. And that's why I really, really love this look. This is one of my favorite looks of the night, because I really think everything here on a whole is very well put together. It's very well curated, and she looks incredible. I wouldn't have wanted a slick, bone straight Cher hair from her in this. I would have wanted something bigger with volume, with this ponytail, and I love it. I do agree, though, with what you said, David, about the Nude Illusion. It wasn't the best Nude Illusion overall, but it doesn't detract for me from the look all that much. I'm going to give Mirage a 93.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it.
And I didn't want the slick straight back hair from Cher.
Yeah.
I wanted a Farrah Fawcett like hair. Like, take that black, give me some flipped up, curly, long Farrah, but longer than Farrah, but curly, flip, teased kind of hair for this look. That would have, for me, did it for me.
Yes, but they would have clocked her for not wearing Cher hair. So it's
but
like,
look at that picture. That Cher had curly hair. She could have did a curly Cher hair.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
okay,
it's
I guess
curly.
you're right.
She could have did a curly Cher.
Right. I guess you're right. I don't know.
I don't know.
Next up, a mandatory meeting doing the Cher doll that came out in 2001.
I screamed. I said, you would do the doll. Really? A mandatory meeting, you would do the doll and not actually Cher. But she did a great replica of the Cher doll. I will say that. It's beautiful. It's cute. I liked it. Trying to look and see what I gave her. If I can find her. Oh, I gave her a 90 because I liked it. I think she looked pretty. I think this is one of her better makeups. I still wanted to be a little bit softer. For this look, it should have been just a little bit softer, but still good. And this wig needed to be a little bit more slick. A little bit more slick. It's a little too fuzzy and, but I like it.
Yeah, I like the idea behind this a lot, and I think it's executed very well. I have no complaints about the look itself. I really like the boa that she has. It looks super cool. My biggest issue actually is the makeup still. There was like a Twitter picture going around of everybody's reactions at the end of this episode, and seeing her face next to everybody else's, it's just glaring how she's just not at the same level as of everybody else. And we've been giving her props for improving, but she still has a ways to go. I do not think this was one of her best makeups for me. I see what you're saying, Lana, but it didn't work for me. I gave her 73.
I love this. Like, taking not just a regular outfit, like the Cher doll. Like, I would have not have thought of this like at all. And I love that she took this and went with it. And this is amazing. Like, and I love the elevation of the boa because it's more fluffy in hers, and it's just like, I just love it. 90.
Yeah, actually, I was like, when she popped out, I was like, wow. I was like, Amanda? Like, Amanda's actually giving for once? I was actually very impressed. So this, like, as far as, like, her package this season, let me tell you, whew, like, this is the best she has looked. Now, there's still work to be done. Like, the mug, we can work on that. It can be fresh, but I'm not gonna lie. Like the hair kind of gave me more Selena than Cher. 'Cause with the bangs, it gave kind of more Selena with the
I
bangs.
was gonna say, this is a mandatory quintanilla because all she gave me was Selena.
It matches the Barbie though.
Bomba.
And I would say I wish the top would have been more like executed better because you kind of see like her breastplates on the bottom. Like I wish it was like the top part. But as far as like, it was like her best look. So I'm gonna give it an 80. It's an 80.
Really enjoy this from Amanda. I do agree with you, David. I don't think the makeup is where I want it to be. This was not one of her better makeup applications. I think her makeup in the challenge was pretty good. Her makeup now is great, so whatever. It gave me a direct recreation of the doll, but it also gave me so much Selena that it's not even funny. But with all that being said, I thought she still did a really, really great job in this. I'm going to give her an 84. Next up, Mother. Oh, so you want to talk about Mother? Sapphira doing Cher in her residency in Vegas.
Baby, everything about this is sheer perfection. When she walked out, I was like, girl.
Could you say it was Cher perfection, Lana?
Sheer perfection. Sheer perfection, indeed. I will give you that. Now, if David said that, you would have rolled your eyes at it. But
And now you thought of it. I thought of it.
I was thinking it, and I was like, I would have been mad at that David said it before I could.
But yes, it was definitely sheer perfection. This was so beautiful. Like everything about it, from the neck piece to the only part that I was like, I wanted her to she took it off or took that part off, and I was like, it lost a little bit of the flair for me. But even in that moment, I didn't care because this presentation was beautiful and she looked stunning in it. And I was like, man, I ain't never seen Cher in this look before. I never saw this look before. And I was like, okay, Cher. But now, okay, Miss Sapphira, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is a full cup for me. I could not take my eyes off of it. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I think Sapphira is the only person who said, okay, you want me to do Cher? I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make it a lot better. And Cher looked good there, but
Yes.
Sapphira looks so good. So she was the one that I audibly gasped when she came out. I do agree when she took it off, it wasn't as good, but it was still good. It's just the bar was set so high, but really stunning. Like one of my favorite looks I've seen this season. I gave it a 97.
Ooh.
Well, that is high for David. That
Yes,
is
sir.
like for the hair. Like, come on. I was again. I also audibly gasped when I first saw this. I was just like, "Excuse me, excuse me, Kandala."
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. I mean, hello. This is Mother. She is in the act of mothering in this moment. And I do agree with you, David. I think she's one of a couple people, I will say, that took the Cher inspiration and elevated it just a little bit more. And I really appreciate it. It just duh. Just duh.
Yeah.
Just duh.
Yeah.
She also has not missed on the runway yet.
No, I can't say that. I can't say that she has.
Even in her the intro look with the pants that she was wearing in the RDR live, even that look, I was like, that's a good look. So
It's cute.
Next up, we have Plasma as Cher from the Met Gala in 1985.
I like this. I was very shocked that this is the look Plasma chose. I was like, oh, okay, Plasma, I see you. I thought that was good. I liked what she did with it. I liked the dress. I wish he would have let it go and let it hang and, didn't hold it the whole time and let it be a good train. But maybe she was like, I can't walk in it, so I know better.
I was going to say, I don't know if she could walk.
That's what I'm saying. I know better. She probably couldn't walk, and that's fine too. But it's beautiful. The recreation is very close. I like that she didn't try to do the nude illusion like Cher. She just was like, this is going to be beige, a beige bodysuit with it, so it looks very like skin, but not really like I'm not going for the whole see-through nude illusion thing. So I liked it. It was cute. I gave it a 94.
Yeah, I like this too, but if I'm being honest, I think I like it more when I do not see the actual Cher look beside it, because I don't think it's that close. I really like all of the gold outlines and how intricate the design is on Cher's actual look. And when you see them next to each other, Plasma's is a bit more basic, but she still looks really good. The only other issue I kind of had is I didn't like her lipstick. It just kind of looked like she had like sucked on a popsicle or something. It didn't work for me.
You are doing every single thing you can to talk shit about
Plasma. I'm being 100% honest with my assessment of the look. I still thought it was mostly successful. I gave her a 77.
I think what I like about this a lot more is the fact that it's not a direct copy, because of the fact that like the black contrast of like the whole like outline from the original picture. I was just like, so that's what you're going for. Okay. Like that. And it doesn't really show much in the sleeves, but I can tell like what she was going with like in the whole bodice, like in the chest. So I was like, okay, work. And I love this like skirt moment where she's just like holding on to that, and it's just like it works. Like it just works. But I will say, like, for me, like yes, I love this, but still just trying to like dock some points at some of this. 88. So
Yeah, I think this is a beautiful, beautiful look from Plasma. I think this is probably the best she's looked so far, which I love. My only concern for me is just the whole pattern is so different to the picture that it takes it out of the fantasy for me personally. But without that, it's very beautiful. It's very clean. So I'm gonna give her an 85.
I definitely do agree with the comments about like looking at it next to the original. But even with that, I still do really enjoy this. I think it evokes Cher in a way that I don't need this to be a direct copy. And I do acknowledge it's not a direct copy, but I think it's inspired enough where I don't care. But yeah, I love that this was the choice from Plasma. I'm curious whether she saw Dark Lady on like the list of songs to learn and decided to go that route with her look as well. I don't know whether there's correlation there, but if there is, that's really smart, and I like that from her. Overall, though, I'm gonna give Plasma a 98 because I really enjoy this look. Next up, Geneva Karr doing Cher as the ringmaster in the Ringling Brothers Circus in 1974.
I like the look. I'm not even mad at the look. I thought it was a decent look. I like how she looked in it. She looked great. I liked it. It was fine. It was perfectly solid. I gave it an 86.
Yeah, I agree. It's perfectly solid. It's a good recreation. There's really not much to critique here. I do wish she would drag up her proportions a little bit more. That's the only thing I'm really hoping to see from her soon. But other than that, this is very serviceable. I give it a 74.
oh my god, it's pants.
It's pants!
Like I'm actually was very impressed by this. Like, yes, like the proportions was a little much, but at the same time, it's still like very curvy that I like it. 92.
Yeah, this was a very fine look for Geneva. It was very kind of different to what I think everyone else was trying to get for this category. So which I love that she went a different route. Yeah, it was very fine to me. It was like nothing like wow, but it wasn't bad at all, any means. So I'm gonna give it a 75.
I guess I like this look less than everyone else here because I'm not a huge fan of this look. Um, I think it's fine and I think it's serviceable. For me, I agree with you, David. I need her proportions to be a little bit better here. I don't know if either her pads aren't big enough to match her everything else going on in her proportions, or if she's not corseting enough. I can't tell what it's not giving. It's not giving the shape that I necessarily want it to give. I think this middle panel is very strange. I know in the original, I think it's a two piece. And so I understand not wanting to show her stomach, but it just, I wish it was all solid then if she was going to do that. I have an issue as well, and I had this same issue last week. I have a bit of an issue with her makeup, and I think she's using a bit too much blush to where all you see on her face, especially with the hair and the way it is framing her face, all you see on her face is dark eye and like cranberry blush. And I just need a bit more. And her makeup now is great, so she's done the improvement as well. But it kind of takes away from the rest of the look for me. I'm gonna give Geneva a 67.
Well, I think the blush is because of this look, because you can see.
But it was the same blush last week.
Oh, okay.
It's this. She's using a bit too much blood. I think she's overcompensating for the fact that she's on TV, so she's trying to do things a little bit more severe. And I get that. It didn't work for me personally.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
She's painting for the check cashing place down the street.
And she doesn't need to in this moment because she needs to be painting for fluorescent light above her. Next up, Xunami Muse as Cher from The Prisoner, 1979. I didn't think this was Getty.
Huh?
I was gonna say I didn't think this was a Getty image, but apparently it is.
I like this. I thought she looked pretty in it. The fairy wings. I liked her wings the best. I think they were very cute wings. I love that she went with the silver shiny like shiny hair instead of going blonde. Because I think unless can't tell what Cher has on here. But it's cute.
It's a fringed wig.
It's a fringed wig. Okay, so it's cute. I like it. I think it's fine. It's perfectly. It's fine. It's fine. I give it a 92. Good.
I mean, I can never use the word fine to describe this look personally because I think this is very good. Very good. I get what you're saying. 92 is more than fine. But I really think that she picked one of the most out of the box looks here. So I appreciate that for her. I really like the fringe wig. And I'm not always the biggest fan of fringe, but it completely works for me. Her body looks good. Her skin looks good. Face looks good. No complaints. I think we have such a clear top four when it comes to look. And that's Nymphia, Sapphira, Q, and Miss Xunami.
She did what needed to be done. Also, David, I skipped your score. Sorry. What was your score?
87.
87? No, yeah, she did what needed to be done. I was like, oh my God. And the fact that this was first on the runway, I was like, oh my God. This is also a Kundala for me. Like,
Yeah, this was so beautiful. I really love what she was giving, and yeah, it was clean. It was the fringe, the mug. It was just beautiful. I just loved it. And yeah, I'm gonna give it a 96.
I enjoy it. I understand with everything going on being a drag queen. I get that that she had to have like the bodysuit underneath, and I understand that. That took away from it for me just a tad, because you could see all of like the bodysuit and the corset happening underneath it. So that was kind of the only issue that I had personally with it. But otherwise, I think it was really, really strong. I'm going to give her a 92. Next up, Dion as Mod Cher from 1976.
So I will. Oh, sorry.
Dawn's great. Loved it. I liked it. 88 for me.
Yeah. So there are things I like about it, but I'll be honest, I think this is my least favorite thing that Dawn's worn so far this season. I think part of the issue is that she wore the coat too long. And that takes away her shape. Like it is so like straight down. There's no curves to it. She eventually took it off, and I thought she looked better without it. So I think she should have just worn it, walked to the end of the runway, then taken it off immediately. But she actually walked around in it a bit, and then it was kind of underneath was the afterthought. So I was a little disappointed, but I don't hate it. I gave it a 71.
I really like the idea that how she like made like she did the colors like herself rather because like of course this picture is black and white. So I was just like, oh, and then but I love this color palette. I will say this though, like I wish I could have gotten more of that in this, but at the same time, like it still works. Like and can't tell what in the original picture what the legs are supposed to be, but like still works. For me, like this is a 90. So
I would just keep it moving. I didn't personally like this at all, as personally, but I'm just keeping moving. So because of time, I'm just gonna give it a 70.
I think what I wanted from this, honestly, because I like what she did with taking the black and white photo and making it color. I liked that concept. I honestly wish she had just detoxed it and done a full black and white look. Done the
same.
black and white makeup, done the whole grayscale garment. I think that would have been really fun to see too. I don't think her recreation of this was all that bad though. So I'm gonna give Dawn. I actually I'm gonna agree with you, David. It's my least favorite thing Dawn has worn. With that being said, I am still gonna give it a 79. And last up, I had to save my favorite for last. I'm sorry. It's Q as Cher from the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour in 1973. This iconic, gorgeous piece of gorgeousness.
Yeah, I said it already. We have a clear top four when it comes to runway each week. Q is no exception. She does not fail. I think this is so good. And yeah, it's just perfectly Q. I gave this a 90. And Lana gave it a full cup.
She did what needed to be done. And this is Mugther. Like this is also my favorite look of the entire like runway. Like like just this body and of course like the way that she like did the shoulder as well. Like again, she made this. Q made this. Like I don't know how she does it, and I'm so happy. Like I'm seeing this. Like this is everything.
I love this. As I already said, it was my favorite of the evening. I really enjoy it. I think she looks spectacular. She also has not missed on this runway once. Not a single miss on the runway whatsoever. I adore this. It's Mugther. Mugther. The mug is filling my whole screen. Mugther. It's a Mugther quake. Mugther. That's all. That's all. So, we can briefly talk about Untucked because a lot and yet nothing happens. But I love that when all the safe girls go back, everyone's like, "Oh my God, Amanda, are you gonna come for plane today?" She's like, "No, I don't care." She's just like, "I don't know why this woman is coming for me. I don't care." Like, I don't care. And then she does, kinda. When everyone comes back, and I'm just like, "Fuck."
Yeah, the problem is, so we get Plain saying, "This is the last time I'm going to apologize," but she always has to add like a caveat behind her apologies. Just like, if you're really sorry, just let your apology be your apology. You don't have to add a but. So I think that's what keeps grinding Amanda's gears, rightfully so. But it makes
She doesn't
for
have a butt,
entertainment
so she has
television.
to add a butt to the whole concept.
Or even relevant to the conversation.
That's how I felt this whole Untucked. I was like, for what reason? For what reason? I did love Mirage coming back and immediately just chugging whatever drink they gave her.
Yep.
I don't care what this is. I'm chugging it.
What do you think those drinks are?
I don't know because they're cans, but they're not House of Love cocktail size.
You know what I think? You know those Cutwater cans?
Oh, probably. Yeah.
It's probably one of those.
Or it's like, because I know in the Bubbly days when they were sponsored by Bubbly, it was Bubbly with like, I think vodka in it or something. I think someone's talked about that openly.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen a bubbly and vodka, and of course you said it. Where do we have it?
But it's like a vodka soda kind of. Like that's what they're trying to go for. But I don't think it's ever been explicitly said. Now they just have those DragRace little
koozies
on it. So it's like I don't know what it is. But I did, speaking of Amanda, I love that Amanda and Dawn were both people to like go to Mirage and be like, "But girl, you got this." And the minute that Mirage openly said with her mic on, "I don't know the words to this song," I think that's the moment they put her in the bottom.
Which I don't want to believe.
I don't want to believe it either, but I think they know that it would have been good TV moments. And I honestly, I don't know how much further Mirage would have gone on this season. I don't think they cared about her, is the thing. In the grand scheme of this production, I don't think, and I think had she stayed in the competition, I think she probably would have been gone in the next couple of episodes, if I'm being honest. And I love Mirage dearly. I've grown to really love Mirage. But they want to make good TV. And that's what this was, unfortunately. For me, at least. That's how I see this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just assume they put her in the bottom to finish off Geneva.
That could also be a possibility, but it didn't. And then Sarah Michelle Gellar comes back and is lovely and wonderful, great and lovely and wonderful. So, all that. But we go back to the runway, and our top three are Q, Plain, and Plasma. But the winner of the week is Plasma. And David disagrees because he thinks it should have been Q.
And you can see Plasma's shock, like the fact that she won. I was just like,
oh yeah, I think she was genuinely like, what? Me? Winning? Because I think she probably thought it was going to be Q.
I thought it was Q as well. I thought it was going to be Q.
I thought it was going to be Q as well, and I would not have been mad. But they're going to jam Q, is what's going to happen here.
I don't want that to happen.
It's such a shame because she's just done so well. Like, there's an argument that Q has consistently done the best of anybody this season, just because she's always there. She's always second place. All 3 weeks she's been there. She's been the next person in line for the win. So it's pretty frustrating for me.
She's gonna get a win. She's
gonna
get a win somewhere. I am very confident Q's gonna go far in this competition. I don't know spoilers for this season because, quite frankly, the tea is all over the place. I don't know elimination spoilers for this season. I would be genuinely surprised if Q does not make top 6 at least with a challenge win. I would go as far to say that. Because the talent is there, and I think they're going to recognize that talent.
Mm-hmm.
But Plasma wins. Our bottom 3 is Geneva, Mhi'ya, and Mirage, with a bottom 2 of Mirage and Geneva.
We got to talk about the Mhi'ya of it all, though.
We did it earlier.
We did?
Yes.
We talked about her moment on the runway here?
We sure did,
We
baby.
did.
When?
While we talked about her runway look.
I think I was busy pulling.
I'm right.
I
And
think
didn't
you
notice.
were. I think
Yep.
you were.
Oh my god.
I'm
Well,
right.
Thank you.
like Sarah
By the way.
said, Kermit.
Yep.
It's
Or
Sherman.
Shermit.
Shermit.
Or Shermit.
Speaking of Mhi'ya, because I love the moment. Incredible, gorgeous, lovely, and wonderful. I actually don't think Mhi'ya should have been in the bottom 3, let alone the bottom 2. And I would have had a different bottom 2 personally. So, because I think based on runway and performance, I think it should have been Geneva and Morphine.
No, I agree with that. I actually agree with that.
I don't think I agree. I think this is the right bottom 2, honestly.
Okay. Well, you're entitled to your opinion. That is always different from everybody else's.
Yeah, because I thought Mirage was better than Morphine on the runway, but not by a lot. Like, I think I gave her 3 points higher.
Fair. But they lip sync / perform a dance number to Dark Lady by Cher. And as much as I would like to sit here and say, oh my God, Mirage ate her up. Oh my God, Mirage did so much better. I think in the dance performance that was this lip sync, I will say that. But in the lip sync for your life that this was, Mirage didn't know all her words. She knew some.
Yeah, she knew some.
Michelle.
Not a single word.
No, she knew Dark Lady and she knew the whole gun.
The first verse, yeah, she knew the first verse.
First verse, parts of the chorus, and the bridge. And that, I don't think that.
Look, Mirage won on mute.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took me a second to realize she didn't know the words, and I have like a document where I keep updates of the scores for the draft. And so I just like the first like 20 seconds in, I was like, okay, 0 for Geneva because I thought she was getting eaten up. I thought, and then I saw her face and I'm like, oh, let me undo because it is not cut and dry.
And I actually think, for what it's worth, I had to go back because the first time I watched it, I was so enthralled with everything happening with Mirage, the performance, which was glorious, and also the fact that she didn't know her words. I did not focus on Geneva in that lip sync at all. I had to go back and watch Geneva specifically in this lip sync, and this is Geneva's best lip sync so far, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I think she put on a character. She was very theatrical with the way that she approached this, and I actually really enjoyed what she did. I was happily impressed because I haven't been the most impressed with Geneva so far in lip syncs, unfortunately.
Sadly,
really
because her first lip sync with Maybe You're the Problem, I was just like, but this one was a lot better. So like, surprisingly, and I say surprisingly, yes, I was like, my eyes were glued on Mirage because of all the dance and everything. But at the same time, though, like of what I was able to see with Geneva, like she was still able to pull off that lip sync, like no problem, because like she knew her words, and I was like, okay, perfect, and I was just like, all right.
But we lose Mirage in a tragic lip sync accident. Oh God, my heart broke seeing her you could see every stage of grief happening at once. I just felt so bad. Because she had a lot of support from past Ru girls, too, to get here. And, like, it's clear that the people supporting her in Vegas really, really wanted... Like, you could tell that that weighed very heavily on her. And I love that Ru gave her the moment of, like, this is... Like, after telling her to sashay away, giving her the moment of, this is not the end of what you are going to do. Thankfully, she is going to come out of this season as a fan favorite, and I'm very happy for her in that. Because I was the first to say preseason that I wasn't feeling Mirage as much as I wanted to. And I'm so happy to say that I absolutely love Mirage. And I really hope that they eventually decide to do an early outs all-stars sort of situation. She is primed for that. And I want to see her get another opportunity on DragRace. Her and Hershey, both.
Yes.
Yeah. And you all have already heard it. I don't think Mirage is all that, but I do think she has a lot of potential. So I think she could really do well on a future season. I just don't think she was ready for this this time. So am I sad she's gone? Not really, but I'm sad for her fans. And I'm
Thank you.
excited to see what she has in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. Her fans are in mourning, including us.
Yeah,
So
I am very in mourning.
I am fans.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was like, when I first watched it, I was just like, oh god, like this is like Panchina all over again, because like it was
I thought the same thing. I was like, oh god.
Like that was so hard to watch. Like, and I watched it at like 2 a.m, so I was just like, oh god,
oh,
am I?
Baby.
No, yeah, because like again, I had work, so I couldn't watch it live. So like I was able to watch it at 2 a.m. So I was just like, you know what, let's do this. And then I was just like, oh god, like
emotionally distraught by 3:30 in the morning. Oh no.
Exactly.
Never me. But we love you, Mirage. At least some of us do. No, we all do. And I can speak for Lana. I know Lana was also very distraught by the elimination as well. But David, do you have a draft update?
I sure do. Now, do I need to refresh who's on everybody's team, or
no?
Okay, good.
No,
there's a lot of queens.
If you're not watching all of our content, go watch our other content.
Right.
Thank you.
So there were 5 people drafting. One person didn't get drafted, so that person is in last place. And then in 5th place we have Lana with 19 points. Then in 4th place is Brandon with 26.5 points. 3rd place is Eve with 27 points. And 2nd place is Rhea with 29.5 points, meaning Logan is leading with 32.5 points. Good job.
Thank you. I have 2 challenge winners. That was my attempt as Cher, and it did not work.
I was gonna say Chad Michaels.
I was gonna say normally when I do Cher, it's either a bad impersonation of Chad Michaels as Cher, or I do Trixie as Swedish Cher. So it kind of depends on the situation. Next week though, girl groups.
Woo.
I'm very excited. I love that they've brought the team girl group challenge really into the US franchise as well, because I usually love it on the international franchises when we get it. So I'm thrilled that we're getting it here. 2 seasons in a row now we're getting it, which I'm thrilled about. But the drama for next week.
There it is.
Oh no, we're gonna miss Mirage hitting the fake giant shade button with her ass. No. But Amanda just turning to plain. And why are you such a bunt? Because I can't say the word anymore. Why are you such a bunt? I'm so excited for next week. But with that, thank you for joining us for 2 hours of talking about Drag Race Season 16. We'll be back next week to talk all things girl group and mourn the loss of 2 icons, first and second out on this season. Let us know in the comments down below. Did you agree with us? Who were your favorites during this week? Who were your least favorites, and why was it Geneva, unfortunately, even though we love her?
Who's your bird box?
Who's your bird box? Are you living for the drama mama? Are you living the house down boots, yes God, period T mama? I don't know. Insert gay words here. Make sure to subscribe over here because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. We've got a lot more drag content on the way as we've got 3 more seasons starting in the next 2 weeks, which is going to be so fun and lovely and wonderful. And go check out our coverage of Drag Den over in the Philippines because we are covering that as well. And more throwback coverage to come very soon. Ooh. Ooh. Also, make sure to subscribe to both of our other channels for Almost All Things Reality TV and Almost All Things Eurovision Song Contest because we do a lot over there as well. You can follow our socials at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, where there will be several moments from this episode that you will see very shortly. You could go follow all 5 of us down in the description below as well. If you scroll a little bit further down, you can go to your merch, including but not limited to cup mug down there as well. I don't have Lana's lights, so I can't do the party for the cup mugs, but whatever. With that being said, cheers.
Cheers. Not relevant to the conversation.
I'm great.
You think I'm a bitch? You're probably right. I put you men on a leash because all men are dogs. I don't remember what the lyrics are. Bye.